The hook, he impregnated an alien mother and her daughter too. HFY, humans are special. Captain Ryan sat alone inside his broken ship. The cold silence of space pressed against him. His oxygen meter blinked red, each warning beep slower. Than the last, he had drifted for days, hoping for a miracle. But no help had come, no nearby colony, no passing freighter, nothing but endless black sky. Ryan leaned back against the pilot chair, thinking maybe this was the end. His lips dry, his eyes heavy. He almost gave up. And then something strange happened. The ship's radio cracked with static, and a signal appeared. It was not human. Not mechanical, but almost like a whisper, a voice calling in patterns, rising and falling like a song. Ryan sat up, shocked. A distress signal, maybe, or a trap. He didn't know, but he had no choice. His ship could only last a few more hours, so he set the course, following the signal into the unknown. The coordinates led him to a planet not on any star map. It glowed faint blue from orbit, surrounded by strange rings of silver dust. As he entered the atmosphere, he braced for heat, for storm, but nothing happened. The air around the ship was calm, almost welcoming. Ryan landed on a smooth plain that looked like glass. The planet was alive with colors, skies shifting from purple to green. The air read perfect for humans, oxygen-rich, safe to breathe. It was too perfect, like the world had been waiting for him. He stepped out, boots sinking into ground that pulsed faintly, almost like it was breathing beneath his feet. A shiver ran down his spine. He followed the signal deeper into the strange land. Soon he reached an ancient structure, half buried in glowing vines. It looked like a temple, tall black stone, carved with symbols that glowed when he touched them. The doors opened without a sound, as if the temple knew him. Inside, he found walls alive with light, shifting patterns that moved like liquid fire. At the center stood two figures. The first was tall, elegant, and radiant. Her skin glowed faintly silver, her eyes deep as the night sky. Her presence was powerful, commanding. Like a queen, beside her stood a younger figure, her daughter. She was smaller, slimmer, but her eyes burned with sharp curiosity. Her beauty was strange, not human, yet not alien enough to frighten. Both of them turned toward him the moment he entered. Neither spoke aloud, but Ryan heard their voices in his head. "You came," the mother said, her words soft inside his thoughts. Ryan froze, his heart racing. How do you know me?" he whispered. The alien mother's lips did not move, but her voice grew clearer. "Because we have been waiting for you, human." Her words wrapped around him like chains, calm yet impossible to resist. Ryan backed away, hand on his weapon. "I don't know who you are. I just followed a signal," he said. But the daughter stepped forward, her glowing hair drifting like smoke. "You are the chosen one, the seed bearer," she said, her voice softer, almost kind. Ryan's blood ran cold. Seed bearer? What did that mean? The mother raised her hand, and the heavy temple doors slammed shut behind him. The sound echoed like thunder, sealing him inside. The air thickened, charged with unseen energy. Ryan felt his chest tighten, like the world itself was pressing down on him. He shouted, "Let me out. I didn't come here for this." But the mother's glowing eyes fixed on him. "You came because it was written. Human, you cannot escape your fate." Ryan stumbled backward. But the temple walls pulsed with light. Strange patterns crawled across the floor, circling him like living fire. The daughter watched him closely, almost curious, almost sympathetic. But her mother's presence grew stronger, filling his mind with whispers. Visions flashed before his eyes. He saw cities burning, alien children fading into dust, oceans turning black. He saw endless death, an entire species falling into silence. And then he saw himself, standing at the center of it all, his blood glowing, his hands reaching toward a future not his own. Ryan gasped, clutching his head. "What are you doing to me?" he demanded, but the mother only smiled, her voice deeper now, almost ancient. "We do not harm you, human. We show you truth, your purpose, your destiny." Ryan tried to resist, but the vision wrapped around him like fire. The daughter finally stepped between them, raising her hands. "Mother, stop. He does not understand," she said, her voice trembling. But Serenia, the mother, only whispered one final thought into Ryan's mind, a secret so heavy, so terrifying, that it made his blood run cold. And with that whisper, Ryan knew he was trapped, not by walls of stone, not by alien power, but by destiny itself. Something bigger than him had already begun. Asterisk the alien mother. He impregnated an alien mother and her daughter too. HFY, humans are special. The air inside the alien temple grew heavier. Ryan could feel it pressing against his skin, almost like invisible hands pushing him deeper inside. The mother's eyes never left him, glowing with a strange light that made his chest tighten. She moved closer, her steps soundless, her presence filling the chamber like a storm. "My name is Serenia," the voice inside his head whispered. Ryan froze, because now the voice carried weight, not just sound, but emotion. Her words came with sorrow, with longing, with desperation. That felt almost human. He tried to look away, but her gaze pulled him back like gravity. "You are not here by accident, human," Serenia continued, her hand reaching out but stopping just short of touching his chest. "You were called because you are the last hope for my people." Ryan shook his head, his voice rough. "I don't even know who you are. I don't even know what this place is." The daughter, Lyra, stood silently in the shadows, her sharp eyes studying him, her lips pressed tight as if holding back words. Serenia raised her other hand, and the walls of the temple shimmered. Suddenly Ryan saw visions again, images alive with color and sound. A great city of crystal towers floating above silver oceans, children with glowing skin laughing, playing in the air like birds. Then darkness, the towers falling, the oceans drying into cracked stone, children turning to ash in the wind, their voices fading into silence. Ryan staggered, almost falling to his knees. What is this?" he whispered. Serenia's voice grew softer, almost pleading. "This is my world. This is my people. And this is how we die, slowly, helplessly. With no future, no children to carry us into tomorrow." Ryan looked up at her, confused and horrified. "Why are you showing me this? What does this have to do with me?" Serenia finally touched him, her fingers light against his skin, and a rush of warmth spread through him. "You are human," she said, "and humans are different. Your seed carries a fire that no other race has, a power to adapt, to survive, to create life even where none should exist." Her words struck him like lightning. Ryan's mouth went dry. She wasn't just asking for help. She was asking for something more, something unthinkable. He pulled away, shaking his head. "No, you're insane. I can't. I won't." But Serenia's sorrow deepened, her glowing eyes dimming as though the weight of centuries pressed on her shoulders. "You must, or we vanish," she whispered. "I am the last of the mothers. My womb is empty. My body withers. Without you, we are lost forever." Lyra finally stepped forward, her voice sharp, cutting through the silence. "Enough, mother," she said, her eyes locked on Ryan. "He does not understand, and you cannot force him." Serenia turned to her daughter, her expression filled with both love and anger. "Would you let us fade into nothing, Lyra? Would you watch our people turn to dust while salvation stands before us?" Lyra did not answer, but her fists clenched, her body trembling with something Ryan could not read. For a moment, the chamber filled only with the hum of alien energy. Ryan's mind raced, his instincts screaming at him to run, yet his legs would not move. Serenia faced him again, her voice more urgent. "You saw the truth. Human, our extinction. Your blood is the only key to survival." Ryan backed away. "And if I refuse?" Serenia's expression hardened, her sorrow turning to steel. "Then this world will take you anyway, because fate does not ask, it demands." Ryan's heart pounded, his breath uneven. He felt trapped between two forces, the mother's desperate plea and the daughter's silent warning. Something was wrong here, something hidden. He looked at Lyra, hoping for answers. Her eyes softened for the first time, almost pitying him. She whispered, barely audible even in his mind, "Do not believe everything she shows you, human. There is more to this than you know." Ryan's blood ran cold. "What do you mean?" he asked, but Lyra's lips pressed shut again, her eyes shifting nervously toward her mother. Serena's voice filled his head once more, drowning out everything else. "You are ours now, human. You will save us, or you will be destroyed by the very destiny you resist." Ryan stood in silence, caught between fear and disbelief. The mother's desperation, the daughter's warning, both circling him like predators. And deep within the temple, the ground trembled faintly, the air thickened, the light on the walls flickering like dying fire. Something ancient, something buried, stirred beneath his feet, and as Serena's hand pressed against his chest once more, she whispered words so soft, so dangerous, that they burned into his mind like fire, words that promised salvation and damnation at the same time. Ryan's breath caught, his heart froze, because the alien mother's request was no longer just about survival. It was about power, about blood, and about a secret that Lyra had not yet dared to tell. The daughter's secret. He impregnated an alien mother, and her daughter too? HFY. Humans are special. The temple grew quiet again, but it was not a peaceful silence. It was the silence of something waiting, of secrets pressed into stone. Ryan stood between the alien mother and her daughter, feeling the weight of two voices inside his head. Serena's words burned like fire, full of command and destiny. Lyra's eyes whispered a warning, soft, fragile, but heavy with danger. That night, if night could even exist on this strange planet. The air outside the temple glowed faint blue. The stars above twisted like rivers, flowing in shapes Ryan had never seen. He sat alone, restless, trying to make sense of everything. Every time he closed his eyes, Serena's visions returned. The dying cities, the falling towers, the children turning to dust. And then her words, "You are the seed bearer, only. You can save us." But another voice echoed too, Lyra's, softer but sharp. "Do not believe everything she shows you." Ryan rubbed his temples, trying to shake it all away. And then, out of the shadows she appeared, Lyra. Her movements light as if the air itself bent around her. Her glowing hair drifted like mist, her eyes locked on his. "You should not be alone," she whispered into his mind, her voice clearer now than before. Ryan stood, cautious. "Why? Are you here?" Lyra hesitated, her gaze darting back toward the temple. Then she stepped closer. "Because I must tell you the truth," she said. Ryan's chest tightened. "What truth?" he asked, his voice hard. Lyra's lips trembled, as though the words were dangerous even to think. "My mother is not what she claims to be," she whispered. Ryan frowned. "She showed me visions, her people dying, her world collapsing." Lyra's eyes darkened, glowing faintly with a storm he had not seen before. "Visions can lie," she said. "My mother can shape them, twist them, make you see only what she wants you to see." Ryan's mind reeled. "Then what is real?" he asked. Lyra stepped closer, her presence softer than Serena's overwhelming power. Her voice trembled but carried weight. "The truth is this. She does not want to save our people. She wants to control them, control you, control everything." Ryan's stomach sank, the weight of her words heavy. "But why me?" he whispered. Lyra looked at him with eyes that seemed almost human in their pain. "Because your blood is fire, your kind are different. No other race carries what you carry. My mother wants it to rule, not to save." The wind rose around them, carrying strange whispers through the glowing vines. Ryan's instincts screamed at him to leave, to run back to his ship. But he couldn't. Not when the daughter's words burned inside him like hidden truth. He studied her carefully, the way her hands shook, the way her voice cracked when she spoke. She was afraid not of him, but of Serena. And that fear told him more than her words ever could. "Why are you telling me this?" Ryan asked. Lyra's eyes softened. her lips pressing tight before she finally whispered, "Because I do not want to be like her." Ryan blinked, stunned. "You're her daughter," he said. "You share her blood. Her power." Lyra shook her head, glowing strands of hair falling across her face. "I share her blood, but not her heart. I see what she does, the lies she weaves, the lives she sacrifices. I will not be her shadow." Ryan's chest tightened at the raw truth in her voice. He felt a strange pull toward her, different from the heavy chain Serenia wrapped around his mind. Lyra's presence was lighter, fragile, almost human. And yet there was something dangerous there too, something unspoken. Before he could ask more, the ground shuddered beneath them. A deep rumble echoed from the temple, stone grinding against stone. Lyra's face paled, her eyes wide. "She knows," she whispered. "She can hear us even now." Ryan looked toward the temple, its dark shape glowing faintly in the distance. "Then tell me quickly," he demanded. "What is she hiding?" Lyra hesitated, torn between fear and courage. Her voice shook when she finally answered. "She does not want one heir, she wants an army. She wants to bind you until every child of her blood carries your fire, until she becomes queen, not just of this world, but of all worlds." Ryan's breath caught. The idea twisted his stomach. Terrifying and unreal, Serenia hadn't spoken of armies. Only survival, only salvation. But Lyra's words painted a darker picture, and deep inside, Ryan felt they carried truth. Suddenly, a crack of thunder split the air, not natural thunder, but the sound of the temple itself coming alive. Lyra's head snapped back toward it, her eyes wide with terror. "She is coming," she whispered. "She will not let you choose freely. She will bind you, and once she does, there is no escape." Ryan's heart pounded, his instincts screaming for action. He stepped closer to Lyra, his voice low but urgent. "Then help me stop her." Lyra's gaze locked onto his, and for a brief moment, her hand brushed his. Her touch was warm, fragile, real, and in that moment, Ryan felt something strange, a spark, a bond. Not forced, not commanded, but alive, something he had not felt in a long-time choice. But before the moment could grow, a sudden blaze of light burst from the temple doors. Serenia's silhouette filled the entrance, her glowing form radiant, furious. Her voice thundered inside Ryan's skull, sharp as a blade. "You are mine, human, do not touch her." The ground shook violently. The air crackled with raw power. And for the first time, Ryan felt something inside him awaken. His veins burned, glowing faintly beneath his skin, a force he could not control rising to the surface. Lyra gasped, staring at him in shock. "It has begun," she whispered. "Your fire is waking." The daughter's secret. He impregnated an alien mother and her daughter too. HFY, humans are special. The temple grew quiet again, but it was not a peaceful silence. It was the silence of something waiting, of secrets pressed into stone. Ryan stood between the alien mother and her daughter, feeling the weight of two voices inside his head. Serenia's words burned like fire, full of command and destiny. Lyra's eyes whispered a warning, soft, fragile, but heavy with danger. That night, if night could even exist on this strange planet, the air outside the temple glowed faint blue. The stars above twisted like rivers, flowing in shapes Ryan had never seen. He sat alone, restless, trying to make sense of everything. Every time he closed his eyes, Serenia's visions returned. The dying cities, the falling towers, the children turning to dust. And then her words, "You are the seed bearer only. You can save us." But another voice echoed too, Lyra's, softer but sharp. "Do not believe everything she shows you." Ryan rubbed his temples, trying to shake it all away. And then, out of the shadows she appeared, Lyra. Her movements light as if the air itself bent around her. Her glowing hair drifted like mist, her eyes locked on his. "You should not be alone," she whispered into his mind, her voice clearer now than before. Ryan stood, cautious. "Why? Are you here?" Lyra hesitated, her gaze darting back toward the temple. Then she stepped closer. "Because I must tell you the truth," she said. Ryan's chest tightened. "What truth?" he asked, his voice hard. Lyra's lips trembled, as though the words were dangerous even to think. "My mother is not what she claims to be," she whispered. Ryan frowned. "She showed me visions, her people dying, her world collapsing." Lyra's eyes darkened, glowing faintly with a storm he had not seen before. "Visions can lie," she said. "My mother can shape them, twist them, make you see only what she wants you to see." Ryan's mind reeled. "Then what is real?" he asked. Lyra stepped closer, her presence softer than Serenya's overwhelming power. Her voice trembled but carried weight. "The truth is this. She does not want to save our people. She wants to control them, control you, control everything." Ryan's stomach sank, the weight of her words heavy. "But why me?" he whispered. Lyra looked at him with eyes that seemed almost human in their pain. "Because your blood is fire, your kind are different. No other race carries what you carry. My mother wants it to rule, not to save." The wind rose around them, carrying strange whispers through the glowing vines. Ryan's instincts screamed at him to leave, to run back to his ship. But he couldn't. Not when the daughter's words burned inside him like hidden truth. He studied her carefully, the way her hands shook, the way her voice cracked when she spoke. She was afraid not of him, but of Serenia. And that fear told him more than her words ever could. "Why are you telling me this?" Ryan asked. Lyra's eyes softened, her lips pressing tight before she finally whispered. "Because I do not want to be like her." Ryan blinked, stunned. "You're her daughter," he said. "You share her blood, her power." Lyra shook her head, glowing strands of hair falling across her face. "I share her blood, but not her heart. I see what she does, the lies she weaves, the lives she sacrifices. I will not be her shadow." Ryan's chest tightened at the raw truth in her voice. He felt a strange pull toward her, different from the heavy chain Serenia wrapped around his mind. Lyra's presence was lighter, fragile, almost human. And yet there was something dangerous there too, something unspoken. Before he could ask more, the ground shuddered beneath them. A deep rumble echoed from the temple, stone grinding against stone. Lyra's face paled, her eyes wide. "She knows," she whispered. "She can hear us, even now." Ryan looked toward the temple, its dark shape glowing faintly in the distance. "Then tell me quickly," he demanded. "What is she hiding?" Lyra hesitated, torn between fear and courage. Her voice shook when she finally answered. "She does not want one heir. She wants an army. She wants to bind the Guardian's test." He impregnated an alien mother and her daughter too. HFY. Humans are special. The temple split open as the Guardian rose. It was taller than the walls themselves, its body made of stone and fire, eyes glowing like suns. Each step it took shook the ground. Each breath filled the air with thunder. Ryan felt small, like an ant standing before a god. The Guardian's voice echoed through his mind, deeper than Serenia's whispers, louder than Lyra's pleas. "The seed-bearer must be tested," it declared. "One choice, one trial, and the fate of bloodlines will be sealed." Ryan's chest burned, the fire inside his veins reacting to the creature. He staggered back, fear clawing at him, but he forced himself to stand. "What test?" he shouted, his voice trembling but steady enough to be heard. The Guardian's burning gaze fell upon him. "The test of truth, the test of sacrifice," it thundered. "Choose the path, human, and prove if your fire is worthy." Serenia stepped forward, her voice rising, sharp and commanding. "He will choose me," she said, her tone filled with certainty. "Through me, the bloodline of the mothers will rise again, strong, eternal, unbroken." Her glowing hand stretched toward Ryan. "You were made for this, human. You belong to me." Lyra pushed past her, her voice breaking with desperation. "No, he is not yours. He must see the truth. He must be free." She turned to Ryan, her eyes glowing softer than her mother's. filled with fear and hope at once. If you bind with her, you will not save anyone. You will be her prisoner. She will use your fire to build an army of her own. She will conquer, not save. The guardian raised a massive hand, silencing them both. The human must decide, but not with words, with trial. The ground split open, forming two glowing paths. One burned red with fire, pulsing with power and hunger. The other glowed silver, soft and quiet, but fading with every breath. Ryan's heart pounded as the guardian's voice thundered again. Red path, the mother, power, survival, conquest. Silver path, the daughter, change, rebirth. Freedom, choose seed bearer. For only one can stand. Ryan's stomach twisted, the weight of the choice crushing him. If he chose Serenia, her people might survive. But at the cost of freedom. If he chose Lyra, a new beginning could rise. But Serenia would be destroyed. He looked at them both. The mother fierce, desperate, unyielding. The daughter fragile, trembling but honest. And then he looked at himself. Glowing veins, burning fire. The strange weight of destiny pressing against his chest. I don't want this, he whispered. But the guardian roared, shaking the walls. You cannot run. Human, destiny is not given, it is forged, and you must forge it now. Ryan stepped forward, his boots echoing against the glowing stone. Each step felt heavier, as though the planet itself was pulling him down. Serenia reached for him, her voice a command. Come to me, Ryan. Together we will rule the stars. Lyra's voice trembled, almost breaking. Please, don't let her bind you. Don't let her chain you. I know you feel it too. The fire belongs to you, not to her. The guardian's burning eyes narrowed. Your trial begins, it said. And suddenly the paths came alive. Flames roared from the red path. Silver light flared from the other. Ryan cried out as his body was pulled in both directions, his fire burning brighter with every heartbeat. The walls of the temple cracked, the ceiling rumbled, dust falling around them. The choice was tearing him apart, and then something new happened. The fire inside Ryan shifted, not pulling to red or silver, but growing in both directions at once. His body glowed brighter, brighter than the paths themselves. The guardian froze, its massive head tilting. Serenia gasped, her eyes wide with awe. No, it cannot be. He holds both. Lyra's voice broke in shock. He isn't choosing. He's changing the trial. The guardian's booming voice shook the ground. Impossible. No seed bearer has ever held both paths. The fire must belong to one line only. But Ryan's body said otherwise, his veins blazing with red and silver at once. He cried out, falling to his knees, the power threatening to tear him apart. Memories flooded his mind, not visions forced by Serenia. Not whispers from Lyra, but his own. Battles he had fought, choices he had made, lives he had saved, lives he had lost, and through it all, one truth stood clear. He was human, and humans never followed the path given. They carved their own. Ryan rose, his body trembling, glowing brighter than ever. No, he said, his voice strong, steady, carrying across the chamber. I will not choose your path, guardian. I will not let either of you chain me. I am human, and I decide for myself. The guardian roared in fury, the temple shaking like a storm. Serenia screamed, her power surging. Lyra gasped, tears streaming down her glowing face. And Ryan stood between them, his fire blazing in both colors, defying prophecy, defying destiny. The guardian's final words shook the temple to its core. Then, your trial is not over, human. Your trial has only begun. The ground collapsed beneath them, the chamber breaking apart, pulling them all into the depths below. Ryan's fire burned like a beacon as darkness swallowed them. And for the first time, he wondered if his choice, his refusal to choose, would save them all, or doom them forever. Asterisk the forbidden's choice. He impregnated an alien mother and her daughter too. HFY. Humans are special. The ground split open as the temple collapsed. Ryan fell through the darkness, fire still burning inside his veins. Stone walls cracked around him, light flashing like storms. He crashed onto a platform deep below. Gasping, his body glowing red and silver all at once, Serenia and Lyra landed near him, both shaken but alive. The Guardian's massive form loomed above them, half hidden in shadow, its voice deeper than thunder. You defy prophecy, human. You refuse the choice. Yet the fire cannot be contained without sacrifice. Ryan pushed himself up, his body trembling. I won't choose between them, he said, his voice rough. I am not here to be your pawn. I'm not here to be chained. The Guardian's eyes burned brighter. Then you will face the Forbidden's path, the path no seed-bearer has ever survived. Serenia stepped forward, desperation sharpening her words. Do you not see, Ryan? The fire tears you apart. It will destroy you unless it finds a vessel. You cannot fight what you are. You must bind with me. Lyra shook her head, her voice breaking. No. If he binds with you, he will vanish. His fire will be yours. He will no longer exist. He must not choose you. Ryan's heart pounded, torn between their voices. The Guardian raised a massive hand, and suddenly visions poured into his mind. He saw himself walking Serenia's path, armies of hybrids rising. Burning worlds, humans enslaved, all under her command. He saw himself walking Lyra's path, new life, fragile and bright, but weak, vulnerable, easy to destroy. And then he saw a third vision, himself refusing both, his fire burning uncontrolled, consuming not just this world, but the stars themselves. Ryan gasped, his knees buckling. This isn't a choice, he whispered. This is a curse. The Guardian's voice shook the air. It is both. Human, destiny and curse are the same. You are the seed-bearer. The fire must pass. If you deny it, all will die. Serenia stepped closer, her glowing hand reaching for him, her voice soft now, almost gentle. Do not fear, Ryan, with me. You will be remembered forever. You will father a dynasty that will never fall. Lyra caught his arm, pulling him back, her voice trembling. With me, you will not be a god or a ruler, but you will be free. You will give life without chains. Ryan's chest burned, the fire screaming to escape, his skin glowing brighter. The Guardian's words echoed again. The Forbidden's path remains. Take them both, bind with both, and the fire will be divided. But such choice carries a price. Ryan froze, his breath caught. Both? He whispered. The Guardian's eyes flared. Yes, human. Bind mother and daughter. Pass the fire into both bloodlines, and the world will be saved. But the cost will be you. Lyra's face paled, her voice cracking. No, it will kill him. He will burn out. He will not survive. Serenia's eyes blazed with hunger, her voice rising in triumph. Yes, this is the way. He was born for this. He must give himself. And we will live. Ryan staggered, torn apart by their voices, their needs, their demands. The fire inside him was reaching its limit, surging hotter and hotter. If he did nothing, it would explode, tearing the planet apart. If he chose one, the other would perish. If he chose both, he might not live to see the sunrise. His thoughts raced. He remembered his old life, the battles he fought as a soldier, the people he lost, the countless times he was told humans were weak, replaceable, nothing special. But every time, he and his kind survived, because humans made choices no one else dared to make, because humans carried the burden others would not. That was what made them different. That was why he was here. He lifted his head, his glowing eyes fixed on the Guardian. If the price is me, he said, his voice steady, then so be it. I'll take the Forbidden's path. Lyra cried out, shaking her head. No, you can't. You'll die. Serenia's lips curved into a smile, triumphant. Yes, he can and he will. But Ryan silenced them both, his fire blazing brighter than ever. This isn't about you, he said. This is about life, about giving tomorrow a chance, even if I don't see it. The Guardian's massive head lowered, its burning eyes fixed on him. So you accept the Forbidden's choice, human? Ryan's body shook, his chest burning like molten fire, but he forced a nod. Yes, he whispered. I choose both. The temple roared with light, the ground trembling as the guardian raised its arms. "Then so it shall be," it thundered. "The fire will pass into both, and the seed-bearer will pay the price." Ryan fell to his knees as power surged through him, his body glowing like a sun. Serenia stepped forward, her hands outstretched, her face alight with triumph. Lyra knelt beside him, tears streaming down her glowing cheeks, whispering, "Don't leave me, Ryan, don't give yourself away." But the fire was no longer his to hold. It was spilling out, flowing toward them both, binding their fates together, and Ryan knew his choice was made. The Forbidden's path had begun. The legacy of the seed-bearer. He impregnated an alien mother and her daughter too. HFY, humans are special. The chamber blazed with fire, brighter than any star Ryan had ever seen. The Guardian's voice thundered like a storm, its massive form looming above them. The Forbidden's path begins. The fire divides, one seed into two bloodlines. Ryan's body shook violently, light pouring from his veins like rivers of molten steel. Every nerve burned, every breath felt like fire. But he held on, refusing to collapse. Serenia's hands glowed as the fire poured into her, her eyes wide with hunger, her body trembling with new strength. Lyra knelt beside Ryan, her hand gripping his arm, the same fire spilling into her. But she looked at him with fear, not greed. "Hold on, Ryan," she whispered, tears glowing on her cheeks. "Don't let it take you." The Guardian's voice filled the air again. "Balance must be kept. Human, you cannot give without losing. The fire cannot stay in you and them both." Ryan gasped, choking on the heat inside him. "I know," he whispered, his voice ragged. "I knew the price." Serenia rose, her body glowing with new life, stronger than before, her voice sharp with triumph. "Yes, the mothers live again. We are reborn," she cried. But Lyra's gaze stayed fixed on Ryan, her voice trembling. "Not if he dies, not if he is lost. He is more than a vessel, more than a sacrifice." Ryan's vision blurred, his body almost empty now, his fire flowing into them both. But even as his strength faded, something stirred deep inside him. Not the alien fire, not the Guardian's destiny, but something purely human. Memories of Earth, of his people, of soldiers who fought when they should have fallen, of humans who stood against impossible odds and said one word: no. He clenched his fists, forcing his body to rise, though every bone screamed. "No," he growled, his voice filled with raw defiance. "I will not fade. I will not die as your tool. I am human. And humans don't end this way." The fire inside him flared again. Not red, not silver, but gold. A new light the temple had never seen. The Guardian's head tilted, its massive voice shaking with shock. "Impossible. The fire should be gone." "Yet he forges a third flame," Serenia gasped, her triumph twisting into fear. "No, it cannot be. The fire is ours, not his." Lyra's eyes widened, glowing brighter with hope. "Yes, it's his. It always was. Not given, not taken, born in him." The golden fire spread from Ryan, swirling through the chamber, pushing against the Guardian's form. The ancient being staggered for the first time, cracks splitting across its stone body. "This is not prophecy. This is not destiny. This is rebellion," it thundered, its voice filled with disbelief. Ryan stood tall, golden light blazing from his body, his voice clear. "I chose the Forbidden's path, but I will not let it consume me. I will not let you or prophecy decide my fate." He turned to Serenia, his eyes piercing. "You wanted an army, a weapon. But you forgot what humans are. We are not weapons, we are will." He turned to Lyra, his voice softer. "And you wanted freedom, and maybe with me you'll have it. But it must be earned, not given by fire alone." The chamber cracked, stone collapsing, the Guardian roaring in rage. "You defy the law of creation, human, but the fire obeys you now. You are no longer seed-bearer, you are something more." Serenia screamed, rushing forward, her body glowing with stolen fire. You are mine, Ryan. You cannot deny me. Ryan raised his hand, golden flames bursting outward. Striking her back, she fell to the ground, her body shaking, her voice shrill with rage. You will regret this, human. You will regret defying me. Lyra caught Ryan before he collapsed again, holding him steady, her eyes shining with awe. You did it, Ryan. You broke her chains. You broke the Guardian's will. Ryan smiled faintly, though his body trembled. No, Lyra, we did it, together. The Guardian's form shattered, collapsing into dust, its voice fading into the air. So ends the prophecy. So begins the legend. The temple walls collapsed completely, light swallowing everything when it cleared. Ryan stood on the planet's surface again, the ruins of the temple smoking behind him. Serenia was gone, vanished into shadow, but Lyra stood at his side, glowing faintly, carrying the fire within her. She looked at him, her voice soft, filled with both fear and wonder. What are you now, Ryan? You are no longer just human. Ryan gazed up at the stars, the golden fire flickering faintly in his eyes. I don't know, he whispered. But I know this. I'm not finished. The wind rose, carrying strange whispers across the land. Voices not from Serenia, not from Lyra, but from something far away. Something watching. Ryan froze, his fire sparking again, because the words were clear. You are not the only seed bearer. Lyra looked at him, her eyes wide with fear. Ryan, what does that mean? He clenched his fists, staring at the endless stars above. It means this isn't the end. It's only the beginning. The sky burned with light as if the universe itself had heard his words. And Ryan knew his legacy would not be just on this world, but across all worlds. Because humans were not just survivors, they were fire. And that fire had only just begun to spread.